Listen up, guys. If she says any of these things to you, it's time to walk away. No second thoughts, no hesitation, and definitely no waiting around, hoping she'll change. You're not just protecting your feelings, you're safeguarding your self-respect and peace of mind. Let's get real here. Words have weight. They can heal or harm, build or break, and reveal truths we often overlook. Too many men ignore the warning signs because they're afraid of being alone or think they can somehow fix the situation. Here's the hard truth. You can't change someone who doesn't want to change. If she's saying these things, she's showing you exactly who she is. Don't ignore it. The reality is, every time you stay in a situation where your worth is questioned or disrespected, you're sending a message to her and to yourself that it's okay to treat you that way. It's not. Respect isn't optional. Stoicism, a philosophy built on reason and virtue, teaches us that the only thing we truly control is ourselves, our emotions, our reactions, and our choices. No one else has the power to dictate your self-worth unless you let them. So, when she says something that goes against your values or undermines your confidence, you owe it to yourself to walk away. Why? Because staying sends the wrong message. Walking away says, I value myself too much to accept this. It's not about being cold or unfeeling, it's about having boundaries. Let me paint you a picture. Imagine you're in a boat, and that boat has a small hole. At first, it doesn't seem like a big deal. You think, I'll just scoop the water out as it comes in. But over time, the water keeps pouring in faster and faster. Before you know it, you're sinking. That's what happens when you ignore the red flags in a relationship. Those little signs you brush off? They add up. Now let's dissect this further. Every toxic statement she makes carries a deeper meaning. It's not just about her words. It's about what they reveal about her mindset and how she views you. Take this one. I don't need you. At first glance, it might sound like independence, but dig deeper and you'll see that it's not about her strength, but about her lack of respect for you. A woman who values you will never make you feel expendable. She'll appreciate the value you bring to the relationship. This kind of statement reflects an imbalance in how she views the partnership. You're not a backup plan or a filler for someone else's void. Your worth isn't tied to her validation. And let's talk about another common one. You're too sensitive. This isn't just a dismissal of your feelings. It's an attack on your emotional state. When someone invalidates your emotions, they're sending a message that your experiences don't matter. It's subtle but insidious. Men, your feelings are valid. You're human, and emotions aren't a weakness. They're a sign of your capacity to connect, to care, and to grow. If she's constantly belittling you with lines like this, it's a form of manipulation. She's not engaging with your emotions, she's rejecting them. Think about it. How do you want to feel in a relationship? Supported, understood, loved, or dismissed and diminished? And then there's the classic, I'm not ready for a relationship. Let's decode this one. When someone says they're not ready, it's often a way of keeping you on hold while they explore other options. It's about control. If she truly valued you, readiness wouldn't be an issue. She'd work through it with you, not leave you in limbo. Now let's take a step back and ask ourselves, why do we let these statements slide? Why do we stay when the signs are clear? Often it comes down to fear of being alone, fear of starting over, or fear of admitting we've invested in the wrong person. But staying out of fear only leads to regret. The longer you stay in a toxic situation, the harder it becomes to leave, and the more damage it does to your self-esteem. Consider this. If a friend came to you with the same situation, what advice would you give them? You'd probably tell them to walk away, right? So why is it so hard to take our own advice? It's because we're emotionally invested. But here's the truth. Walking away isn't a sign of failure, it's a sign of strength. Let's circle back to Stoicism for a moment. The Stoics teach us to focus on what we can control. You can't control her words or actions, but you can control how you respond. You can choose to set boundaries. You can choose to prioritize your peace. And you can choose to walk away when someone doesn't align with your values. Here's a thought experiment. Imagine your ideal partner. What qualities does she have? How does she treat you? Now compare that to the reality of your current situation. If there's a gap, if her actions and words don't align with your vision, it's time to move on. Remember, relationships are partnerships. They're about mutual respect, growth, and support. If you're constantly feeling drained, disrespected, or undervalued, it's not a partnership. It's a one-sided dynamic that's not worth your time or energy. Walking away doesn't mean you don't care. It means you care enough about yourself to refuse to settle for less than you deserve. And trust me, when you respect yourself, you'll attract people who respect you too. So, take a hard look at your relationship. Listen to the words she's saying. Are they building you up or tearing you down? Are they reflective of a healthy, balanced partnership? If the answer is no, you know what you need to do. Men, it's time to stop tolerating disrespect. It's time to start valuing yourself. Because at the end of the day, you're the one responsible for your happiness, your peace, and your life. Don't let anyone take that away from you. Walk away with your head held high, knowing you made the right choice for yourself. Now, let's go even deeper. Have you ever noticed how much energy is wasted trying to decode someone's mixed signals? One day she's warm and affectionate, and the next she's cold and distant. It's like trying to read a book where the pages keep rearranging themselves. This inconsistency is not just confusing, it's exhausting. And it's a clear sign that she's not emotionally stable enough to provide the kind of relationship you deserve. Think about the mental toll it takes. You're constantly second-guessing yourself, wondering what you did wrong or how you can fix things. But here's the kicker. It's not about you. It's about her inability to be consistent and honest about what she wants. A healthy relationship doesn't leave you feeling like you're walking on eggshells. It provides a sense of stability and peace. Speaking of peace, let's talk about the importance of protecting your emotional and mental well-being. In today's world where stress levels are already through the roof, the last thing you need is a relationship that adds to your burdens. Love should be a sanctuary, not a battlefield. If being with her feels more like a constant struggle than a source of joy, it's time to reevaluate. And here's another point to consider. Your time is valuable. Every moment you spend in a toxic relationship is a moment you could be investing in yourself, your goals, or a healthier connection with someone who truly values you. Time is the one resource you can't get back, so use it wisely. Don't let fear of the unknown keep you tied to a situation that's clearly not working. Let's bring this back to self-respect. When you tolerate disrespect, you're teaching her that it's okay to treat you that way. You're also sending a message to yourself that your boundaries don't matter. Over time, this can erode your self-esteem and make it harder to stand up for yourself in other areas of life. But here's the good news. Walking away is a powerful act of self-love. It's a way of reclaiming your power and setting the standard for how you want to be treated. It's also a way of showing yourself that you're worthy of a relationship built on mutual respect and care. And trust me, there are people out there who will appreciate you for who you are. But you'll never find them if you're stuck in a situation that's draining you. So, take a deep breath and ask yourself, what do I really want? What kind of life do I want to create for myself? And is this relationship helping me get there, or is it holding me back? The answers to these questions will guide you toward the right decision. And remember, you have the strength to walk away and build the life you deserve. Now let's dive into another layer of understanding, the role of emotional reciprocity. A fulfilling relationship requires a balance of give and take. If you find yourself constantly giving your time, energy, and emotional investment without receiving much in return, it's a glaring sign of imbalance. When she dismisses your efforts or takes them for granted, she's showing you that she doesn't value the work you put into the relationship. Over time, this can lead to emotional exhaustion and resentment. Imagine watering a plant every day, ensuring it gets the sunlight it needs and protecting it from harm. But despite all your efforts, the plant doesn't grow. That's what it feels like to pour yourself into a one-sided relationship. No matter how much you give, it never seems to be enough. That's not a reflection of your inadequacy. It's a reflection of the relationship's lack of mutual respect and appreciation. Recognize this. Love is not a transaction, but it is an exchange. It's about two people working together to create something meaningful and supportive. When one person is doing all the heavy lifting, the relationship becomes unsustainable. You deserve someone who meets you halfway, someone who matches your effort and values what you bring to the table. Another critical aspect to consider is how she handles conflict. Does she shut down, deflect, or lash out when issues arise? Or does she approach disagreements with a willingness to listen and find solutions? The way someone navigates conflict reveals a lot about their emotional maturity and commitment to the relationship. If she consistently avoids accountability or turns every disagreement into a blame game, it's a red flag. Healthy relationships thrive on open communication and mutual problem-solving. Think about the long-term impact of being with someone who lacks emotional intelligence. Over time, the unresolved issues pile up, creating a mountain of frustration and dissatisfaction. You deserve a partner who is willing to address problems head-on and work with you to build a stronger foundation. Avoiding conflict might seem like the easier path in the short term, but it ultimately leads to a breakdown in trust and connection. Now let's talk about the importance of shared values. A relationship built on a strong foundation of mutual values is more likely to withstand the challenges that come its way. If your goals, priorities, and principles align, it creates a sense of unity and purpose. But when your values are fundamentally different, it can lead to constant friction and misunderstandings. For example, if you value honesty and transparency, but she frequently withholds information or tells half-truths, it creates a disconnect that's hard to bridge. Shared values also extend to how you envision the future. Are you both on the same page about important life decisions like career goals, family, and personal growth? If not, it's essential to have open and honest conversations about these topics. Ignoring these differences in the hope that they'll resolve themselves later is a recipe for disappointment. Let's take a moment to reflect on the concept of self-worth. Your worth is not determined by how someone else treats you or perceives you. It's rooted in your own understanding of who you are and what you deserve. When you allow someone to undermine your self-esteem, you're giving them power they don't deserve. Reclaiming that power starts with recognizing your own value and refusing to accept anything less than respect and appreciation. The journey to self-respect often begins with setting boundaries. Boundaries are not about building walls to keep people out. They're about creating a framework that protects your emotional well-being. They communicate your needs and expectations clearly, allowing you to build healthier connections. If someone consistently disrespects your boundaries, it's a sign that they don't respect you as a person. Don't be afraid to enforce your limits and walk away from those who refuse to honor them. Let's also explore the role of self-awareness in relationships. Understanding your own strengths, weaknesses, and emotional triggers allows you to navigate relationships with greater clarity. It helps you identify patterns of behavior that may be holding you back and empowers you to make more intentional choices. Self-awareness is a powerful tool for personal growth and relationship success. In the end, the decision to walk away from a toxic relationship is an act of courage and self-love. It's about choosing to prioritize your own happiness and well-being over the fear of being alone. It's about recognizing that you deserve a partner who uplifts you, supports you, and values you for who you are. Walking away isn't easy, but it's a necessary step toward creating the life and relationships you truly deserve. So, men, take a stand for yourselves. Embrace your worth and refuse to settle for less. The path to self-respect begins with one powerful decision: to walk away from anything that doesn't serve you. Your future self will thank you for having the strength and wisdom to choose better. And remember, the right person will never make you question your value. They will celebrate it.